Good morning, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. We just made a mob move, moved the cattle up on this farm. This is the farm that we leased, excuse me, back in 2015, I believe it was. And it's 100 acres. It bordered right up to our other farm. And the landowner was spending around $500 a year to brush hog it. And so I told him, you know, we had at that time, 350 four-legged brush hogs. And, well, he said, Greg, that's fine. He said, but I don't have any fence. We don't have any water to speak of. And so we came in and put one single wire around this whole grazing area. It's just one high tensile wire because our cows are broke so good. And we did build a pond. The landowner and I split the cost of a pond over here. And it's got a couple other ponds on it as well, older ponds. There's a mud hole right down here over the hill, kind of a little pond, and we just fence it off. We don't let them in that. They just muck it up, and we don't want our cows in mud. But back to the farm itself. When I leased this, it was all thatch. There hadn't been any livestock on it for, gosh, probably 50 years. And so there was all this thatch. And I would have went in and burned that in my old days. I was a pyromaniac. I'd throw a match on something in a heartbeat, get rid of that thatch. Well, I didn't do that. I brought the cattle in, and we started grazing it. And so we had all this, you might say, accumulated carbon, and I used the animals at fairly high stocking densities to trample all this carbon on the land. And today, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, that one spot right there, it's just solid earthworm castings. It's just solid casting. All that stuff is castings. Folks, this was a dead farm as far as the soil was. In other words, there wasn't any sunlight. There wasn't any herbivores grazing on it. If you don't have herbivores on your land, it's going to go backwards. It's going to get choked. The sunlight's getting down. You can't get down to the ground. You don't have any solar energy. You don't have any life, okay? So we took the cattle, beat all that carbon on the land, and now the farm's paying us back huge, huge. Now, this was grazed, I think this is about our 5th time around this year on this farm. And what we did in May, when the spring flush hit, and it was growing really fast, we couldn't keep up with it. When the cattle were moved out of here, I came right behind them one time, and I mowed it off about 8 inches. I took off all the stems. And by doing that, I mean, look at this. It's just, it looks like a dang salad bar. It knocked down all the stems, and now all we got is a whole bunch of beautiful green leaves. And folks, this is October 9th, 8th or 9th. This is fall. This is stockpiling period. And so the cattle are just, you can see what they're doing. They're standing there and they're just taking the very best to fit to the plants. And we're going to be moving them out of here tonight. So they're on about, oh gosh, it's probably 10 acres. And there's about 330 head or something in here. And all they're doing is just taking the candy off this grass. Now, people say, but, you know, you're leaving all this grass. Yeah, but we got winter coming at us. So we come back here, it's probably going to be after deer season, like into November. This fescue's still going to have some green in it. Really high quality forage, a whole lot better than feeding hay, and the animals are going to do well on it. And somebody asked me about clover, how well does it stockpile? Well, clover doesn't stockpile, not very well. Here's a clump right here. This is red clover, okay, and it'll get a hard frost on, that'll turn brown. Matter of fact, I'm not so sure that didn't get frosted last night. It was cold out here. You can tell I got a stocking hat on. I know I don't take cold like some people do, but it felt pretty darn good this morning, I'll tell you that, especially sitting on that four-wheeler coming out here this morning. But I did jumpstart this farm a little bit. And it just happened last year. The guy that owns this, really good landowner, gave me a free lease on it, and he's a deer hunter. And so I'm trying to get as many legumes in here as I can, as quickly as I can. And so we put 3 tons of lime on this last summer. And I can tell it has made a difference. We're starting to see more clovers already. And so for those of y'all want to jumpstart clover, you got a hunting property especially, and you want to get that red clover going, the lime will really get the ground sweetened up. Because this is pretty acidic. I'm saying it was probably in the mid 5s, lower 5s. We probably got it up to base around 6 now. But the cattle are really looking good. We've got some nice fat ones here coming in the winter. They're starting to put on a little bit of winter hair coat. The really slick ones still are pretty slick, but this cow here, she is putting some weight on, or putting some hair on its back. So it's gonna need it here pretty soon. So anyway, don't burn it. I was that guy. I used to burn everything. Put the livestock on it. Just remember this. Grazing promotes plant species coming closer together, okay? You get more stems closer together. That's what you get when you use animals to beat it on the ground. Burning promotes plant spacing so that the plants get further apart. You're actually killing some plants. Now, if you're into quail habitat and you've got some warm season grasses and you want to burn it, go for it. I know there's a lot of people that promote that, and it absolutely works. But on cool season grasses, you start burning your pastures every year, you're not gonna make much money grazing, because you're gonna kill a lot of your grasses, and you're gonna have a lot of bare soil. Bare soil does not capture solar energy, period. So, y'all see any bare ground out here? Absolutely not. Shouldn't see any bare ground. Don't get comfortable seeing bare ground. Folks, this is Greg Judy signing off. Everyone have a good one.